We had 2 homicides in our city. There was additional 2 homicides that happened in Santa Ana, and we had several robberies related to the same suspect. So this crime spree started today here in Garden Grove at the apartment complex behind me at 4:09 p.m. with a burglary call. The victims came home, found out their apartment had been burglarized, and they called the Garden Grove Police Department. We get a call at 4:23 p.m. about a robbery that took place at a bakery here in Garden Grove located at 13040 Chapman. In that robbery, a male, which is our suspect, driving a silver Mercedes, robbed the business and cash was taken. I don't have the cash loss at that time. Right after that robbery, our suspect returned back to the apartment complex behind me, and we believe our 2 victims in the apartment somehow confronted the suspect and an altercation occurred. Our 2 victims were stabbed to death. We've learned so far that our suspect does reside here in the same apartment complex. We're not going to release his apartment number, but he does reside in the same complex as our 2 victims. Our suspect went to the Cash and More business located at 12845 Harbor Boulevard. He conducted another robbery where cash was taken, and he used a knife to threaten his victims. We get a 211 robbery silent alarm at a business which is located at 12843 Harbor Boulevard. This business was called Best One Insurance. A female employee, she's Hispanic, she's 54 years old, I believe. She was inside the business, and their suspect came inside, confronted her, and he was armed with some type of machete knives, and he attacked the female taking money from the business. This female employee was very brave. This guy was armed with knives. She fought as best she could against this armed suspect and sustained multiple stab wounds. At the Chevron station at Harbor and Banner, we get a call of a male that was attacked inside the parking lot. The male, he was at the gas pumps pumping gas when our suspect pulled in his vehicle and confronted our victim and attacked him for no apparent reason. There was no robbery or whatever. He just attacked the guy pumping gas. He sustained traumatic injuries. His nose was nearly severed off his face, and he received a stab wound to his back. What we learned is that the suspect went into the 7-Eleven store, followed the security guard inside the business. At some point, there was an altercation between the armed security guard and our suspect, where suspect stabbed the security guard multiple times, and ultimately ended up using his knife to cut the gun off the security guard's duty belt. He comes out, he's confronted by our undercover detectives where he's taken into custody. We were told that another robbery happened at the subway prior to the 7-Eleven incident. Just prior to this, where our suspect went to the 7-Eleven and he attacked a male inside the subway and stabbed him. That victim ultimately succumbed to his injuries, and he was deceased. So we have 2 homicides in Santa Ana, one at the subway, one at the 7-Eleven.